Hello everyone, welcome to Technic Force Learning. This is a Web3 mini course. Let's get started. Lesson 1. I'll show you a complete beginner's guide to Web 3.0. Let's get started. You've probably heard about Web 3 unless you've been living under a rock. Web 3.0 is the next step in the web's growth, and it aims to make the internet more intelligent. Before learning more about Web 3, let's understand the evolution of the web first. Over the last few years, the World Wide Web has developed, bringing with it new tools and strategies. Web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0 are typically names for these stages. Now, let's understand each of their stages. Web 1.0. It is the first stage in the evolution of the web, which is also referred as the read-only web. Web 1.0 websites were not as dynamic and interactive as it is now. The primary goal of the websites was just to make the information available to the general public. As servers were improved, average connection speeds rose, and developers gained new skills and techniques. The shift from Web 1.0 to 2.0 occurred over time. Web 2.0. It is the second stage in the evolution of the web, which is also referred as the read-write web. It's just a better version of the first World Wide Web, marked by the shift from static to dynamic or user-generated content, as well as the rise of social media. Some of the famous Web 2.0 applications are Google Maps, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WordPress, and others. Web technologies such as HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript frameworks such as React.js, AngularJS, Vue.js, and other enable users to come up with new concepts, allowing users to contribute more to this social web. Now that you have a good understanding of the evolution of the web and its old stages, let's understand what is Web 3.0. Web 3.0. It is the third stage of the evolution of the web, which is also referred as the read, write, execute, which refers to the future of the web. In this era, artificial intelligence and machine learning enable computers to understand data in the same way that people do. Web 3 applications, or dApps, are developed on decentralized peer-to-peer networks like Ethereum and IPFS. These networks are developed, operated, and maintained by their users rather than by a business. They self-organize and don't have a single point of failure. You'll notice that when you hear about Web3, cryptocurrencies are frequently mentioned. This is due to the fact that many of these protocols include cryptocurrencies. Anyone who wishes to help create, control, or improve one of the projects is given a cash incentive, or tokens. These protocols frequently provide a wide range of service, including computation, storage, bandwidth, identification, hosting, and other online services previously supplied by cloud providers. So what makes Web 3.0 so unique? Web 3's major benefit is that it seeks to solve the most serious issue that has arisen as a result of Web 2, the gathering of personal data by private networks, which is subsequently sold to marketers or potentially stolen by hackers. Web 3's network is decentralized, meaning it is not controlled by a single organization, and the decentralized applications created on top of it are open. Here are the properties of Web 3.0. The following are three characteristics that can help us define Web 3.0. First, semantic web. One of the key elements of Web 3.0 is semantic web. The semantic web enhances online technologies by allowing users to create, share, and connect content via search and analysis based on the ability to understand the meaning of words rather than keywords or numbers. Next, 3D graphics. 3D graphics is being used widely in websites and services in Web 3.0, such as online games, e-commerce, and portfolio website. And number 3, artificial intelligence. Semantic web and artificial intelligence are the two cornerstones of Web 3.0. By combining this capacity with the natural language processing, Web 3.0 allows computers to comprehend material in the same way that people do, resulting in quicker and more relevant results. To meet the demands of users, they grow increasingly intelligent. And lastly, what is Web3.js? The Web3.js library is the primary JavaScript library you'll use while creating Web3 applications. Web3.js is a set of libraries that let you use an HTTP or IPC connection to communicate with a local or distant Ethereum node. The Ethereum blockchain is accessed with the Web3 JavaScript library. It can access user accounts, send transactions, and communicate with smart contracts, among other things. In fact, Web3.js is one of the main frameworks used in designing the apps. Lesson 2. I'll show you how the Web3 future is shaping up. Let's get started. The last few years have experienced the rapid evolution of the Internet and its application ranging from Web 1.0 to Web 2.0 and now Web 3.0. Web 3, the decentralized web, is the latest major iteration of the Internet, which promises to achieve a stable and secure decentralized network while offering a variety of innovative features. Since the inception of the World Wide Web in 1989, it has changed dramatically through the years. While Web 1.0 was read-only, Web 2.0 saw a significant shift towards user participation via centralized platforms such as Google, Facebook, Amazon, and others. In this era, personal data is controlled by middlemen, those running the digital platforms. As such, people do not have control over their data as well as the content they create. Web 3.0 is generally regarded as the future of the Internet. Unlike Web 2 era, ownership and control is decentralized, conceived by the Ethereum ecosystem. Web 3 enables enhanced privacy, boosted transparency, eliminates intermediaries, facilitates data ownership, and digital identity solutions, similar how to Web 2 improved front-end functionality. Web 3 is focused on revolutionizing back-end functionality. Today, Web 3 architecture has gone far beyond the Internet capabilities, which run on a decentralized layer. It has become the convergence of several innovative technologies like edge computing, artificial intelligence, IoT, decentralized data networks. With Web 3, the trend of data and computing moving to the edge is inevitable. Powerful computing resources are to put together to create next generation of decentralized, user-owned, hyper-efficient edge networks. Decentralized data networks can enable different data generators to transact their data without losing ownership control and privacy or the need for an intermediary. Meanwhile, Web 3 technology also combines artificial intelligence and machine learning to create a substrate that connects users and machines as well as to connect problem owners with problem solvers without the need of a third party. This synergy facilitates a better understanding of human preferences and more accurate analysis and results. As such, Web 3.0 goes from technology to disrupting the structure of society. However, the adoption of Web 3.0 has so far been driven by crypto-related use cases. This is because the majority of Web 3 protocols rely heavily on initial use cases of cryptocurrencies. This has led to the majority of projects focusing on crypto and not on the mainstream adoption of Web 3 technology beyond cryptocurrency. The thing is, decentralized technologies can use to eliminate value capturing middlemen, and this could be a boon of different new economies have appeared in the 21st century. One such economy that could be shaped by Web 3 tech is the gig economy, with the new technologies promising to eliminate decentralized platforms like Uber and Upwork to give gig workers the chance to earn without lining the pockets of big corporations. The world is evolving to an intellectual capital-centric creative economy, and the world where most resources other than intellectual and human capital are commodities doesn't seem too far away. So, the creative economy encapsulates intangible assets that have become the most valued assets in the world, especially the innovative enterprise. But their total value outside of enterprise is far beyond what we can imagine. Aside from holding high intrinsic value, intellectual assets also provide an opportunity for investors to speculate as their price increases. Therefore, the ability to capture value from these assets becomes vital. To foster mainstream adoption of Web 3.0 for the greater economy, there are projects building a whole host of tools to enable the discovery, evaluation, licensing, and exchange the intangible assets to boost liquidity flowing into a creative economy. Now you may be thinking, don't these projects just act as the middleman capturing the value in any case? Well, you'd be wrong. These projects aren't governed by a board of directors, but by Decentralized Autonomous Organization, or DAO. DAOs enable democratic governance models that anyone can be part of and can direct any fees levied on creator or gig economy workers to the further development of the platforms themselves, and are not geared towards the profit-centric model of capitalism and the Web 2.0. The Internet has become the center of business, communication, and much more, and Web 3.0 has the potential to transform agreements and value exchange. This means that the transition to a more democratic Internet via Web 3.0 may allow the world to unlock opportunities not only just to reclaim the Internet by revolutionizing infrastructures around storage, data exchange, financial transactions, but also many aspects of our lives. Web 3.0 is shaping up to be not just an evolution of the Internet, but the disruption to overhaul many aspects of society. Lesson 3. We're going to talk about Web 3.0 and how it will impact your business. Let's get started. If you're like most people watching this video, you're only using 1/3 of the Internet. A lot of us spend our lives traversing different forms of digital communication on the Internet. Emails, social media platforms, content creation, and consumption in a form of video, writing, audio, or photography, and graphics. The rest of the Internet is still fragmented between the energy Internet and the logistics Internet. When you think of logistics Internet, think driverless cars, the democratization of green energy, in order to instantly calculate carbon footprints in supply chains or construction. I say fragmented because the second two still sit apart from the communication, but not for long. Web 3.0 isn't about consumer communication. If you consider yourself a creator, and you're a super fan of someone who posts videos or blogs, and that's all you do in the Internet, you sit squarely within consumer communication. And there is nothing wrong with this. But if you are a business owner who sells tangible products, you need to be thinking bigger. You might not be aware of this because there is a discourse of media asserting that Web 3.0 is about the decentralization of large digital institutions like Facebook. They think it's a revolution, but it's hardly news. Throughout history, every time a new technology, creative trend, or economic standard is reached, it always begins with centralized control. However, the communication Internet is nothing but the continued decentralization of information. It's the natural progression of technology humans have done over the centuries, but that's not Web 3.0. So when will Web 3.0 begin? Web 3.0 is the point where we finally combine the Internet of Things, or IoT, across consumer communications, energy distribution, and logistics. The hope is that it creates a more efficient, less labor-intensive world. New technologies or trends often bring new forms of centralization. This isn't because corporations are evil, or someone is greedy, or there are nefarious intentions. It's because it takes an incredible amount of time, effort, and skill to innovate. There are 3 areas pushing us toward Web 3.0: the environmental factors of climate change and the recent pandemic, blockchain, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, and the social desire to work less. So what will Web3 look like for your business? Businesses that sell products and advice services need to figure out how to bring their business into the cloud. Businesses that act as a broker will see less people working in their ranks. The internet put a time clock on any kind of broker or middleman business a long time ago. Generally, apps are the brokers these days. Bring your business into the cloud doesn't simply mean using Google Forms. Your customer journey needs to be as seamless for marketing to the sales receipt. This means you will need more efficient apps that the simple, crude applications will have today. They require too many manual updates, which welcomes too much human error. Instead, you will begin to see more single-entry systems, where data is shared between different departments of a business or between suppliers. If data has to be entered more than once in the back office system, it's an indicator you'll be left behind. Here are things you can do to prepare your business today. Make sure back office and suppliers work with cloud-based apps. Make sure all apps integrate without needing to replicate work. Work from a single source of truth. If you have to build a bespoke system for your business, do so, because you will be future-proofing, and embrace highly integrated platforms as they emerge. In conclusion, thinking Web 3.0 is just more the same when it comes to how people consume information will give you the wrong steer. It's about the efficient movement of goods and services in order to satisfy the data that consumers are creating. The future looks like we are geared toward decentralization, and as I am bound to repeat, if you want to compete in business, you will need to learn how to build better processes and better bots. And there you have it, how Web 3.0 will impact your business. Lesson 4. I'll show you how to earn money on Web 3.0. Let's get started. Blockchain and cryptocurrency will be the building block of Web 3.0 instead of big data, AI, or machine learning. Though AI and machine learning could also play a great part in making websites and applications more user-friendly and ensuring faster decision-making processes, blockchain and cryptocurrency will handle the decentralization of the internet. So here are 10 ways you could soon earn money on Web 3.0. Number 1. Content creation. Since the decentralized internet will also encourage information distribution, internet users can continue to make money on the Web 3. Though creating and sharing information will become seamless and high-tailored, content creators who can deliver quality and optimize their content on the decentralized web will make money on the internet. Number 2. Working on Decentralized Autonomous Organization, or DAO. Decentralized Autonomous Organization is an entity collectively owned and managed by its members. In a DAO, decisions are made from the bottom up, with no central leadership. Participants working on DAO are incentivized for their contribution and overall participation to improve the DAO. DAOs will become more popular in the decentralized internet, with varying communities organizing their organizations around a specific set of rules enforced on blockchain. A DAO has built-in treasuries that can only be accessed with the authority of members. Decisions in DAO are uniquely made via collective proposals and group votes over specified duration. Networks of users can also pool resources together for software subscriptions, charity, and donations. Number 3. Freelancing. Freelancing is a contract-based profession that allows an individual to provide services for many clients at the same time. In the decentralized internet, individuals can still make money on the internet by using their skills and experience to solve problems for people. Most interestingly, freelancers can use DAO to work on assignments or tasks and earn more money without committing to only one employer. Many times, freelancers can earn as many tasks as they can take on. Number 4. Blogging. Blogging has thrived on the current internet like every other online activity. Several internet users are making their daily living through blogging. and it might continue to be a relevant source of livelihood for interested folks in the decentralized internet. Web 3.0 will allow users to create their space on the decentralized web, create their audience, and start publishing original content for their audience. Ideally, the more consistent an individual is, the more money they can make via blogging. Next, number 5. Online surveys. On the decentralized internet, users can also make some money by conducting online surveys, fact-checking, and testing. Web 3.0 might come with several opportunities beyond what we see, but it takes the consistent and open-minded to see the opportunities. Online surveys are kind of popular today, but they can become more popular with blockchain technology. Most of the online surveys are structured and questionnaires targeted, where people fill out a form for some rewards. Number 6. Cloud mining. Cloud mining is another mechanism useful in mining cryptocurrency, such as Bitcoin, through rented cloud computing power. This mining mechanism is possible without directly installing or running any hardware or software directly. With blockchain apps designed to enhance cloud-based computing, cloud miners can earn and accumulate digital assets without any prior mining experience. Number 7. Cryptocurrency trading. Trading has been a vital source of income for internet users, and it will continue to give money to many others. Even on the decentralized internet, the use of blockchain applications and cryptocurrencies will allow many to earn money on the internet via the trading of blockchain assets, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. Number 8. DeFi staking. With the advancement of decentralized finance, many internet users will earn more money with DeFi staking on Web 3.0. DeFi staking allows users to lock tokens into a smart contract and earn returns on the locked tokens. This is a beautiful reward mechanism that encourages network users to interact with the blockchain. Number 9. DeFi yield farming. Yield farming is another essential feature of decentralized finance, where blockchain and cryptocurrency enthusiasts earn money. Yield farming might become more adopted in Web3, and liquidity providers earn money by receiving more tokens on their pool share. The rewards you earn either come as the same crypto token or an entirely different crypto token. And lastly, number 10. Community management. Community management has become a vital source of livelihood for some web users, and with the decentralized internet, more blockchain projects that need community managers will surface on the internet. This will create more earning possibilities for internet users. In conclusion, earning on the internet has become more pronounced in the last few years. However, the next-gen decentralized internet could bring more opportunities for internet users than we currently have. And there you have it, how to earn money on Web 3.0. Lesson 5. I'll show you Web 3 explained in simple words. Let's get started. So there has been a lot of stuff about Web 3.0 on the internet. The term is a bit scary, especially for those who have no idea about what in the world is Web 3. So here's a much simple and basic idea of what is Web 3.0. First, let's talk about Web 1.0. The first phase of the internet can also be seen in the way users first interact with the web. In other words, Web 1.0 was about reading and not writing. It was static instead of flexible. This has changed with Web 2.0. Web 2.0, in this section, users create more content on platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. The bad thing about this highly active internet is that by creating content, users were providing personal information and data to companies that control these platforms. Web 3 refers to an internet that is made possible by decentralized networks, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. The new technology of these networks is the construction of platforms that no single business can control, but everyone can still trust. That is because every user and provider of these networks must follow the same set of strict code rules, known as consensus protocols. Like the previous version of the web, there was no single creator of Web3. Instead, it has grown as a collaboration of different people and organizations building on each other. There is the Web3 Foundation, run by the founders of the Polkadot network. With Web3, the network is distributed, so no single business manages it, and the dApps, or decentralized applications, built over the network are open. The openness of the web used means that no single group can control the data or restrict access. Anyone can build and connect with different dApps without permission from the central company. The idea of Web3 at its most basic level is that the current setup, Web 2.0, is no good. So, when will Web3 happen? New technology generations are never born on a specific date. Even Web 1.0 didn't happen on a particular date. You could say it began as soon as the first browser was released in a usable condition. But at that time, there weren't many websites. You might therefore claim that it was born when websites began to multiply. But realistically, it didn't happen until the first search engines appeared. However, you might want to argue that it didn't occur then, but when the first true e-commerce sites began working. The point is that it slowly emerged. Web 2.0, with its social networks, multiplayer games, and big data algorithms, also took a while to come of age. Web 3 will be the same. Perhaps you will wake up one morning and realize that your browser embodies a set of bots that do really useful things for you, that you have a digital ID, and that you can interact intelligently with the internet. When that happens, you will have the right to declare, "Oh yes, this is Web 3.0. Lesson 6. We're going to talk about why do we need Web 3. Let's get started. Imagine going back to 1995 and trying to explain Facebook to people. This is how it feels when trying to explain Web 3.0. What makes it even harder is that many people are working on their own vision of the future of the internet, so each one expects different changes and improvements in the network. There is a lot of misleading information about the Web 3 out there. So, in this video, we'll clear out the confusion, and you will learn why do we need Web 3. The problem of Web 2 is that if you look at the majority of companies in Web 2 space, there is no room for competition. These major companies have the most money, the best talent, the most compute power, and all the data and resources. These companies create a shrinking economy with the winner-takes-all mentality. As a result, they have given birth to the unsustainable digital distribution model we see today. Another big problem with Web 2 is that customers have lost control over how these large companies collect and use their data. Centralized actors are now in the internet's bedrock because they provide the internet's trust. As we know now, IBM was not the company to monopolize the internet because they failed to realize that mainframes wouldn't build it. It was primarily Google, Microsoft, and Amazon that came to dominate the internet. How? They created the cloud, which is another way to call big tech servers. To understand the critical differences between the two, here's a quick comparison of Web 2.0 and Web 3.0. First, the characteristics of Web 2.0. Few players dominate the market. It is centralized and controlled. Anyone can be removed or banned without any explanations. Imagine Google removing your website from search results. How hard will it be to get in touch with the support and fix it? 2. Tech giants censor it. Web 2.0 developer tools are company-made. As a result, the data structure of these tools is composed of big text databases. It is the only standard for data structures. Network platforms are private by default. The same people own the servers, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google make up 70% of this market. The only decentralized part of Web 2.0 is TCP or IP structure and clients that actual people own. Anyone can download and run TCP or IP. You actually use it every time you use your computer. So how can a new company enter this space that does not allow for almost any competition? The answer is Web 3.0, a decentralized network. Here are the key characteristics of Web 3.0. It is impossible to censor. There is no ownership or centralized power. New entrants are unlimited and do not have to fight with giants for their space. More competition, lower barriers, and easy entry for everyone. Web 3.0 developer tools are community-made, and network platforms are public by default. To put it short, Web 3.0 accomplishes what the Internet was initially built for. Anyone can participate and generate sustainable income without being censored or overpowered by more prominent players. Anyone can start a company with Web 3.0, sustain it, build blockchain apps, and make money to live on. With Web 3.0, you don't have to be a major company in Silicon Valley. Next, centralized versus distributed versus decentralized systems. First, let's talk about the centralized system of Web 1.0. We would like to think of the centralized Internet as Web 1.0. You would put a server on the Internet, that server would host a website, then you would have all your users connecting to it. The issue with this structure is that if your server went offline, that would cause your entire website to go offline. It was a massive issue at that time. In summary, a centralized system is based on a single server, which makes it easy to publish something, but difficult to scale and interact. It also has a single point of failure. Next, the distributed system of Web 2.0. Distributed system Web 2.0 took us from centralized to distributed systems. For example, Facebook has data centers around the globe. Each of these centers maintains a copy of Facebook data. Therefore, if one of these data centers goes offline, Facebook will still be completely functional, and the users won't notice any disruptions. In short, distributed systems spread computation across multiple nodes, making it possible for the system to be both centralized and distributed simultaneously. Next, the decentralized system of Web 3.0. Decentralization is what we are building with Web 3.0. There is no centralization because every node can maintain a copy of the data. Every node has the power to validate all of the data. As a result, each node can validate everything that any people has previously put on the network. There is no single node dictating to others what to do. The system is based on millions of individual servers spread all over the world. A decentralized system can handle demand and failures better. Why? Because all of the data that goes into the decentralized applications is time-stamped. That way, if there is anything put into the applications, it is validated with every participant in the network. In conclusion, Web 3.0 has both a technical side and a conceptual side. When we refer to the concept of Web 3.0, it is a vision for what the future looks like in terms of applications that are scalable, secure, and interoperable, that leverage the blockchain and P2P technology to co-create value in decentralized networks. Imagine a place where people can connect, communicate, transact, and collaborate without interference or unnecessary interruptions from big tech. A place where everything is open source, where developers and businesses can build applications directly on top of the protocol. This is Web 3.0. Web 3.0 is not just a bunch of technical improvements. It's an entirely new way of interacting with one another through technology. Consequently, it revolutionizes the way we do business and use the internet. The first two versions, 1.0 and 2.0, have been about replicating old media in digital form online. Web 3.0 aims to facilitate brand new interactions that were never possible before. And there you have it. Why do we need Web 3? And lastly, Lesson 7. We're going to talk about Web 3.0's challenges, advantages, and disadvantages. Let's get started. The next challenge for the web is to understand the data it presents. And here comes the idea of the semantic web. It is a technology to share, reuse, find, and combine information by tagging and categorizing content. This extension of the actual web makes it possible to exchange data in a common format and uses a specific language to record how some of the data relates to real-life objects. All this data relating to real-life objects will then be linking to databases. These databases will be then connected to other databases that are containing data about the same real-life object. For example, the word apple can be related to the fruit itself, or the tech corporation that created an iPhone. This semantic technology can be combined with artificial intelligence, more precisely with natural language processing, or NLP, to make computers able to understand humans. Semantic technology is using artificial intelligence and machine learning to analyze text and associate meaning to words. In the process, the algorithm identifies specific elements of the text and connects them with the grammatical and logical role. This process will help search engines to understand humans better and provide users with much more relevant and faster results when it comes to searches. As semantic web technologies and artificial intelligence will be integrated with search engines, users will get more relevant search results, even if they use long-tail search queries. Let's look at some of the biggest challenges of Web 3.0 implementation. Number 1. Vastness. The internet is huge. It contains billions of pages, and the SNOMED CT medical terminology ontology alone includes 370,000 class names. An existing technology has not yet been able to eliminate all semantically duplicated terms. Any reasoning system which can read all this data and understand its functionality will have to be able to deal with the vast amounts of data. Number 2. Vagueness. User queries are not really specific and can be extremely vague at the best of times. Fuzzy logic is used to deal with vagueness. Number 3. Uncertainty. The internet deals with scores of uncertain values. For example, a patient might present a set of symptoms that correspond to many different distinct diagnoses, each with a different probability. Probabilistic reasoning techniques are generally employed to address uncertainty. Number 4. Inconsistency. Inconsistent data can lead to logical contradiction and unpredictable analysis. Number 5. Deceit. While AI can help in filtering data, what if all the data provided is intentionally wrong and misleading? Cryptography techniques are currently utilized to stop this problem. Next, let's talk about the advantages of Web 3.0. Number 1. Increase information linking. Semantic web will help in the connectivity of online data. Number 2. Efficient searching. 3. Better marketing. 4. More efficient web browsing. 5. Effective communication. And 6. Change human interaction. But lastly, let's talk about the disadvantages of Web 3.0. First, less advanced devices will not be able to handle Web 3.0, and Web 1.0 websites will seem that much more obsolete. And lastly, it can be very complicated for newcomers to understand. We are on the verge of real internet revolution. While it is true that there are several challenges to Web 3.0 implementation, the sheer innovation that it can bring to our lives is truly mind-boggling. While there is a lot of hype, we still need some practical use cases of Web 3.0 to truly understand the positive changes it can bring to our lives. And there you have it, Web 3.0's challenges, advantages, and disadvantages. And there you have it, a mini course about Web 3. And before this video ends, Let me show you the world's fastest and 100% mobile responsive builder, where you can create landing pages, funnels, lead pages, memberships, corporate sites, and more in just a few clicks. And that is Cloud Funnels by Technic4. Create an amazing funnels and landing pages. Build your dream site with Cloud Funnels. You can create beautiful web pages. Click and modify, no coding required. Create funnels with upsells, downsells, and order bumps. Grab leads and send emails. And it supports all major payment gateways. And it has memberships. So try Cloud Funnels now. Just go to yournextfunnel.in. And that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.